it's Matt Brown from Matt Brown's Guitar Studio and the band Dead Parade. We're going to do Man in the Box by Alice in Chains in this one. And a lot of you, I'm sure, are probably thinking, you know, I've already learned how to play this song, I already know it, but I've seen it transcribed so incorrectly so many times that I thought I'd do my take on this one. So anyway, we're in half step down for the tuning, every string, and we're in the key of E minor to start with for this one. So the main riff, I'll play it for you and then kind of explain all of the details. And this is one of the parts that I've seen transcribed incorrectly. So here we go. Alright, so there it is. So the only notes that we are actually palm muting in this is when we're going to play the low open E, or E flat as it is, by itself. So breaking down the first measure in a little bit before it, we're just going to go to two muted strums there, and 4 is the timing there. And then the first measure, the first thing we're doing is we're playing the low open E in the 5th fret staccato, not palm muted. Alright, the next thing that you're going to do is play the 2 low open strings muted, and you want to hit roughly in between the 4th and 5th frets. Otherwise, if you're right over the 5th, you'll get a harmonic. So, alright, then we're coming back to the open 5th again. So, it's what we have so far. The next thing is an open in 5th again. So, at this point we have the last 8th note is the palm muted one. So, alright, then that measure gets repeated again, and again. Then the next measure is this. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and 4 hands. So that little lick at the end is a hammer on 5 to 7. And then you're playing the 5th fret of your 5th string. So the first 4 measures again with a little pickup. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that's it for the first riff. Now the guitar comes in with wah. Now what I'll mention about this part is when you're doubling a vocalist, you want to double the vocalist's vibrato. So pay attention to the rhythm in which the vocalist is doing the vibrato. Is it like a triplet based vibrato, 16th notes, whatever. And you want to line your vibrato up with that on guitar. Otherwise you'll be kind of like fighting each other with your vibrato and it's just going to sound bad. So I'll get into that and then break it down for you. So I played it just now exactly as Lane Staley is singing this. So the details that we're doing, we're sliding into the B note here at the 9th fret of your 4th string, vibrato on that one. So 7th fret on your 3rd string, vibrato there. Then you're going to do a grace note hammer on from 7 to 9 and put vibrato on the 9. So, alright, the next measure, we're coming to 7 on the 4th string. Then we're doing a grace note hammer on the 4th string, 7 to 9. Vibrato on the 9 there. And that last note of that measure is the 5th fret. So far. Alright, now the next measure starts with a grace note hammer on to 5, and we're doing vibrato on the 7, 5 to 7, and doing the vibrato on the 7. Alright, now the next thing, this detail is pretty important. You want to bend the 4th string up a 1/4 step, but with no vibrato, so. And then you're coming down to the root note, your 7th fret on the 5th string. Then in the next measure, we're going to do the type lick there. So let me put this all together again. so that'll give you that intro there. Next, you have the verse riff, which I've already shown you. There is a fill at the end though that leads us into the pre-chorus. So let's check that out and see how that sounds. All right, so there it is. We're doing just the first measure of the riff, like we normally do, and here's the fill. All right, so we're doing a D note on your 5th fret of the 5th string, palm muted E, back to the 5th fret note, then a grace note, hammer on 5 to 7. Putting vibrato on that, and then on 4 and, you've got the 2 low open E strings. All right, so the pre-chorus riff, we have this. So this is common. It's the Jimmy Reed shuffle riff played in a rock rhythm. So this pattern we're doing a G5 power chord, 2 strings. That's 3 and 5, and then we're reaching up to the 7th fret, and that's the pattern there. So that repeats twice for a full measure. All right, so for some of you that this fingering might be uncomfortable with the stretch with the pinky, if that is the case, just use the first finger and middle finger to do your power chord, and then again reach up for the pinky. The 4th measure that we're going to play, the last note, we're going to play an open palm muted E note, and then what we have is a little lick here. So I'll explain that to you. So we have, you're playing the open in low string and the 5th fret together, 2 palm muted E's, then you're doing 2 D's, and the second one gets vibrato. So, and then the last measure of that, or the last note of that measure is a palm muted E. All right, so then we're going to go back to the riff twice. So that's the fill that's going to take us to the chorus, and it's doubled 2 octaves higher. So just an E minor blues scale thing. We're doing a grace note, hammer on 5/7, then coming back to the 5th fret. Then we're doing 7, 6, 5, 3 on your low string. All right, so up an octave higher. That'd be 15 to 17, and it's 2 octaves higher actually. Back to 15, then you're coming down 16, 15, 14, 12. The next verse they do this fill, that's, so that one you're doing a double stop bend here at the 14th fret on the G and B strings. And so this is the type deal where the 3rd string's going up a full step, 2nd string's going up a half step, then a double stop at the 12th fret, then you're playing 14 to 12 on the 4th string. All right, so that takes us into our chorus. The chorus is super, super simple, so I'll play that and break it down. Alright, so that's it. First chord is an E5, just open 2, 2. Next is G5. That we're doing 3, muted 5th string, open, open 3, 3. These chords are anticipated, so they're being strummed on the end of 4, with the exception of the first E5. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the next chord is a D, just your tried and true open D chord, open 2, 3, 2. Next chord is an A. This one we're playing on the inner 4 strings, open 2, 2, 2. And the little lick at the end, that's a low open E to a G with vibrato at the 3rd fret. So that just repeats a couple of times. You're back to the verse, and then you got a verse, a pre-chorus, chorus. So let's get to the solo that I played at the beginning. So with the solo, as far as the scales and some of the details, all of that, there are a couple of different guitar parts that are going on here. There's one that has a wah on the tone, and one that's just kind of like a nice overdriven solo type tone with no wah. So what I'm going to do, and what I did at the beginning, is I just played it all kind of like he would play it live. So I just played it all without the wah and just kind of merged all those guitar parts together. So that's what I'm going to do again for the slow playthrough. And I'll also tell you some of the scales that are being used. This one it's mainly E minor pentatonic. You have the blue note, the flat 5 thrown in for the E minor blues scale at some point. And there's some chordal ideas, like there's an E7 sharp 9 chord thrown in, you know, the quote Hendrix chord from Purple Haze. So look out for that one as I'm playing through this slowly. So if you'd like the tabs, you know, just shoot me an email and we can talk about that. But yeah, let's see if you can figure this all out by ear. So I'll play it for you slowly. Alright, so that'll do it for Man in the Box. The ending is just... So what you're playing is a little F sharp chord here. That's the 14th fret across your 3 high strings to an E minor there. So that does it for all of this one. If you'd like the tabs, you know, just email and I'll sort that out with you. And please subscribe, please like the video, please ring my bell, as the kids say, for notifications. And yeah, check out all my websites and social media and all that stuff. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you around for more lessons. I'm Matt Brown.